Alright, so 1996 C4 Corvette, pulley replacement, tensioner pulley. You can see it all the way down there. If it'll focus in on there. Bang, that little one right there. Obviously, when you're ever doing any work on your car, you want to disconnect the battery. So that's a little 8mm right there. Disconnect the negative, and that'll shut off the electric. To get in here, I had to remove, there's a bolt right in here. I removed that so I can move the hoses out of the way. I also disconnected it from the, I believe this is the AC compressor. It'll squeal like a motherfucker. So be careful, you need a 13 to get this off. And then it's a 9/16 in here, or a 14mm might work just fine for that. So loosen it with the socket. So we're getting the bolt, big boy right here. Now you might need to hold on to this because mine didn't come with a replacement bolt. Yours might not either, so hold on to that bolt. We can wiggle this loose. Okay. Awesome. So we got the old tensioner out. I'll show you the new one in a second, but moving these hoses out of the way will definitely help you get this out. So here's what the new one looks like. I'm gonna sit it next to the old one. Here's the old one, new one. So I'm gonna try to get this back in there. Nice, pivot it in with the back first, and then get the small wheel. There's a little nub on the back here, so that I can lock perfectly into place where it should be. Oh man. Now the nub should be in there now. And so now that'll stay in place without me holding it. Right there. Get the big old bolt right here. Start to tighten it up. Finish it with the socket. I want a 9/16. It's hard to do this while holding the camera. Okay. It's on there. I want to make sure it's nice and tight. Obviously, there's probably a torque spec for this, but we're balling on a budget today, so we're just gonna have to feel it out till it feels tight. Alright, so now we're gonna try to go ahead and put the new belt on there. By the way, I'm a complete amateur. There's absolutely no reason you should be following my advice. When you're putting the new belt on, obviously you're gonna wanna follow the little diagram right here. The best type of tutorials are the ones that come with the car. Don't use YouTube as a valid resource. We're gonna feed the belt down in there. First goal is to get it around the big wheel down bottom. As you can see, yep, it's around the bottom of the big wheel down here. Next course of action, once the big wheel's on, that's the bottom left one right there, is you want to get the top piece right here underneath the tensioner pulley that we just replaced. Okay, so now it's underneath the tensioner pulley right there. Again, following the diagram, once it's underneath the tensioner pulley, it goes underneath the next big one, which is right here. I think this is our power steering pulley right here. So once you get it underneath the tensioner, it kind of naturally goes under this one, around the top here, and then around the outside again. This is where you're going to need to use the tensioner to your advantage to give it some room to go around this compressor. It's going to be the tough part right here. So the new pulley that I got, you're supposed to rack up here so that you can pull it up to release the tension. That previously was a 9/16 or a 14mm bolt, but this new one is just about 15. So just a heads up, if you order a pulley off Amazon, you might need this here too. Alright, so we finally got the new belt on. That was not easy. I almost thought maybe it was just too tense, but we have a little bit of play there. Not too much, can't be more than a 1/4 inch there. So should be good. I mean, Brake belt's on. You want to make sure it's aligned all the way around. It's perfectly in the grooves. Where it should be. Should hopefully be ready to roll. I'm gonna have to put these hoses back where they belong. Make sure I don't forget my bolts. And secure everything into place before I start it up. So all I just did, I moved the hose back over here and I started tightening that bolt right there in the center. And then last up, gotta plug this baby back in right here. Get our bolt from over here. Slide it right in there. And I believe this was a 13 mil right here to get this tightened back up. Sure it's nice and tight. Last but not least, we're gonna get the battery back on with the 8. Make sure it's nice and tight on there. Cool. Battery secure. We should be good to start it up. All right, so we got the moment of truth here. We're gonna start it up. Well, there you have it. Thank you for watching. Again, do not take my advice, but it seems to have worked here. I don't advise you doing any of this yourself. Just take it to a shop, it's so much easier.